Hey guys, welcome back to the Gloria Living channel. My name's Hannah and today we are going to be building something simple and fun and useful for the garden. So we are going to be building a two-in-one kind of multi-purpose tool which can be used not only for sifting out soil if you are starting seeds and you're going to be using like a potting soil that you want to sift out the big chunks, but it's also going to be great for drying out some of your harvest like garlic and onions and things like that need time to cure and have air circulation. So we are going to be building that today. It's going to be really easy, really simple, and an affordable build, and something that I think is good for gardeners to have. So we're building ours today. We're going to use it for some seed starting, and we're also maybe going to use it later in the year too if we get a good onion harvest. So guys, let's go check it out. Okay, so we're going to be making this out of a few different pieces of material here. The first one is going to be furring strips, 1.5 inch by 8 feet long furring strips, just the thin ones that they use for, I think, putting like sheetrock up. These are just small pieces of wood, but they're very inexpensive, about $1.70 a piece, and so they're really easy if you just need a tiny little piece of wood for a small project. So we'll be using these for the rectangular frame that we're going to create. It's going to be 3 feet by 2 feet of a rectangle, and I'm also going to put a additional 2 foot long support down the middle of that rectangle. As well, for sturdiness and the actual sifting and drying part, we're going to use this rabbit wire or this kind of like mesh fencing. It's 1/4 inch squares on here. This is very easy to find. You can find it at, big box stores, Tractor Supply, Walmart, things like that. I found it the most inexpensive at Tractor Supply, so that's where we got ours. We had used it for another project for a trailer to keep in pieces of mulch and wood chips like that. So we had extra and I thought this is perfect. I've been wanting to make one of these. So we are going to do that today. We are going to start by cutting our furring strips, and then once we get our frame put together, we will cut our mesh wire. It's very simple. All you're going to need are, the wood, the mesh wire, a measuring tape and pencil if you even want to count those, but also some tin snips are a really great tool for making it way easier to cut through this mesh wire and cut multiple pieces at once. It's not the most fun to cut fencing material, but this makes it a little bit easier. So tin snips are very helpful. And then also I'm going to just grab our compressor with our staple gun and staple these together. I think that'll just be the easiest way, and hopefully it'll just hold it together as much as it needs to. Like I said, this isn't going to be like super sturdy, but we're not building a house. We're just building a sifter and a dryer. So hopefully it'll be sturdy enough, and if it's not, I'll let you know. So here we go. Let's get started. I've got the miter saw out. We are going to cut our furring strips first. Okay, so as you can see here in my original plan, I went to go just use the compressor and the stapler. It did just not work, and it was stapling, the staples were too thin. And so it just was not wide enough is how I should say that. It just was not working well. It was not connecting things well, and I thought I could make it work because I had tested it on some other pieces of wood and it was fine. But my husband had also tested it and did not have as much luck. So on to plan B here. I'm gonna move my 2 feet strips over here. I've got my 3 feet strips over here. All right, so the reason I did 3 by 2 is because I thought that'd be a manageable size, and also this wire came in, we had 3 foot wide wire. So all I had to do was just trim it down to being 2 feet by 3 feet. It was already 3 feet, and I just had to do cut it to make it 2 feet, make it perfect. So I'm going to cut a little bit of excess as well, but I want to make sure I get this to be 2 feet. I might do a little bit extra so I have some wiggle room. Okay, so new plan, but I'm going to still cut this 2 by 3, and I'm going to show you how we're going to put this together now. It's going to be different, and we're going to have to kind of build it, staple the wire on as we build our frame. So I'm going to measure this out to get about 2 feet, so I know that I have enough. I'm going to make kind of a mark on the fencing. This is such a pain. Make a mark on the fencing so I know where to cut it here. My tin snips. There we go. And I will just trim that down. What I might do next to make this easier as well is I'm already thinking about stapling this down to the first 3 foot side, but we're gonna trim our mesh here and then we'll be ready to get started. Okay, so I had to obviously bring in some reinforcements because those tin snips are older and probably need some sharpening, and it was just absolutely terrible. But John got it cut, so we are going to start building this. I'm going to first attach this and staple it to the 3-foot long pieces, and then after that I will get my 2-foot long pieces over top and screw them in. We'll show you what I mean. Okay, so be careful when you're working with this because it is sharp and mean, but we're gonna get it laid out here on our 3-foot pieces. Try and get it as straight as we can. And we'll start stapling this on to get it attached. All right, now we've got that first 3-foot side on, we are going to do our next one. If you watch enough of these videos, you'll find I don't like working with gloves, but this is feeling like the exception to the rule here. Okay, so we've stapled them down over here and we don't have this side attached yet. What we are going to do, I'm gonna put this under here just for support of the beams, and we're gonna get some screws and we're gonna screw in these corners, and that will make them flat and together. And our screen is on here. I'm gonna get a close up so you can see. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our mesh coming on top of here, but we've got it sandwiched here. So it was underneath, and we're gonna put a screw in here. We're gonna do it down on that corner as well. And then we're going to do the other side, and we're also going to do a middle support to make this even stronger. Well guys, as you can see, it is darker and later. In the middle of the project, we had to stop and had somewhere we had to go today. So I'm gonna finish up the last little part here. I'm gonna show you what John and I got done earlier. He was so much help. I was just struggling working with it earlier, and just, it's one of those days where some days projects go smooth and some days they don't. And today it wasn't going smooth for me, and he came to my rescue. So I'm just gonna show you what we've got, and the last step I'm going to do, it's gonna be finished, and it's gonna work so well, and I'm so happy with it. And honestly, for just using chintzy little wood strips, it's pretty sturdy. So I'm gonna show you what we did, I'm gonna show you our last step, and then it's gonna be ready to be used. So this is where we are so far. We attached our 3-foot bars though, as you can see on the other side, or on top of it. Let me flip it over so you can see. So these are on top. This is how I felt like was the best way to secure this. And then this will be like the bottom of it. And so this is the top that I will use. Get these screws out of the way here. This is the top that I will use. What I'm actually going to do is I cut pieces that will directly go on here, and they will sandwich together the mesh and the 2-foot pieces. This will make this flush. I'll get that nice and even, and I'll screw that on. You'll be able to see it's kind of like sandwiched there, and that will create a little bit of a lip. And I like that because if I have soil in here, it won't just fall off the sides, it'll stay on, or if I'm drying beans or something like that, I have a little bit of a lip to keep it on. So I like that, and yeah, so far so good, and it's gonna look really nice when it's finished. So instead of having this open side here where stuff could fall out, this will create a nice lip. But I'll put that there, it fits perfect, and I'm going to screw this on, and yeah, I love that, and I'm really glad that we had that extra wood, and it worked out perfect. So I'll also put this one in over here, and then I'm going to screw that in like I said, and I'll staple down the mesh right on the center part, and then we'll be all set to go. Once we do that, we'll be all done. Well guys, I hate to finish this up when it is so dark out, but we're gonna show you what we got. Here's our sifter, totally done, totally finished, and our drying rack. I think it came out great. I had, a few issues today. It was just one of those days working on a project, but it's okay. It's all finished now, and I think it came out really good. So really happy with it. I think, I would do it maybe a tad different next time, but honestly, I think it came out good. It's really sturdy. I'm whipping it around and it's good. It doesn't have twist in it or anything. It's going to be great. So this isn't for anything super heavy duty, but it can hold onions, garlic, for them to cure if we're drying seeds from beans or things like that. I could use it for that, and as well sifting soil. So when I put the potting soil through here and I'm going to pot up my plants, that will help take out all the big chunks and give my seedlings just a little better of a soil for their time of life. So this is good. I would say, like, if I was going to upgrade it, I'd probably also make it flush here on the back because there are some sharp pieces and I don't love that, but it's not something that's going to be being handled like all the time. So I think it's fine. I think it's good. It serves its purpose. Super easy, super simple. Took me longer than it should have. It's not a long project. It's not a hard project. Anybody can do it. So a few screws. I use some staples, your wire mesh, and some furring strips. This was a very, very, very affordable project, and it'll be used for years to come. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm sorry it got dark for the video, but hopefully you can see this nice and see how it came out good. And hey, let me know if you're going to make one of these too for your garden. Very helpful, very useful, very easy to make. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get more updates when we're releasing more videos for you. And please share this with your friends and your family. Those are really the best ways to help supporting us and creating this content for you. Guys, thank you so much. And until next time, we'll see you soon.